morning. Today I'm going to try a craft that I haven't done since I was maybe like a teenager. We used to always make these little boxes out of old cards. This one's made out of a Christmas card. I haven't made them for years. So I'll try to see if I can remember how to do it. It'll probably come back to me. This one's just made out of cardstock, or thin cardstock. This one's a little thicker. This one's got some glue loose, so I'll take it down, take it apart and see if we can. I'm pretty sure you start with a square piece of paper. Yeah, someone's doubled up this paper to make it thicker. But yeah, you start with a square. So I've picked out a Christmas card, and I'm going to first of all cut the folded edge off. And then I'm going to see what it measures here. It's just over 4 7/8. I'm going to make it exactly 4 7/8. And then while I've got my board out, I'm going to go ahead and cut the back part to 4 5/8. Just needs to be a little smaller. I'm not sure if that's too much. Maybe 3/4 would be better. I'm going to go 5/8 for the first one, and we'll see how that is. You want the bottom of the box to be just a little bit smaller than the top of the box so that it'll go inside. One will go inside the other. And then I'll make it a square. So 4 7/8. And 4 5/8. Some cardstock for tags. And then I know you have to find the center. Remember that. So the easiest way to find the center is to use a ruler and draw an X. Pencil sharpened up. Just go from tip to tip. Actually, I probably want to do this. Ooh, that's a bad eraser. Oh, that's fine. I was doing it right. On the back side. I was thinking I was on the back of the card, sorry. So you just want to do a little X. Go from tip to tip, and that's going to give you the exact center of your paper. And I believe the first step is folding into the center. You want to get it as precise as you can. Your box will turn out better you fold. This is going to be pretty small, I think. And then the next folds are more of a square fold. You go into the center. It is coming back to me. We did so many of these back in the day. And then you unfold those and go the other direction, right into the center. This is really good for stocking stuffers or any little things. Okay, and then what you do is you cut two sides all the way into the square that will be the top of the box. So you cut here and here. And then all the way across the other side, you do the same thing. And then you take these flaps, stay down. These side ones that you didn't cut, they come up and overlap each other. You can put a little drop of glue on the flaps to hold them there. But really, once you fold this up and over and in, it pretty much does hold it in place. If you want to be able to break these down, like say you were doing these for a craft show and you were going to put things on display on your booth table, like I sometimes see people with little gemstones or rings or, you know, little tiny things that they're selling. You can put them in these little boxes at the show. And then when it's time to go home, you could tear them down and lay them flat again. But if you want them to stay as a box, of course, you can glue them up. So yeah, I'm glad that I didn't lose that out of my memory. It's still in there. All I had to do was look at one and remember how to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this one up. It'll firm it up a bit if you glue it, of course. The tacky glue, you just need a little drop. I'm just putting it on the triangle parts. And then just overlap them. Give them a hold for a second or two. The cardstock's a bit of a sheen on it because it was a Christmas card. And then you can put another drop just on these triangle flaps. And then they go up and over and into the bottom. And those 4 points come together again in the bottom of the box. Of course, you could put a little piece of velvet or something in the bottom of the box if you wanted to, just to make it fancy. Or glitter or some little surprise picture or something. But then the top of your box is going to be whatever was in the center of that square that you cut out. And you see it's cool because the pattern on the box continues around the side. That's really cute. So let's see if I've guesstimated correctly on how much to make this other one smaller. So I went from 4 7/8 to 4 5/8 was the difference in dimensions. So you could do this with any kind of card. We always tended to do it with Christmas cards. But you could use just cardstock too. You could use book pages, music paper, anything really. And cardstock does work well, like it makes it feel like a substantial little box. Of course, it would work with paper, but it's going to be easy to crush. This card was a card from one of our vanity suppliers at work. I always get the girls in the office to save me all the company Christmas cards because nobody else wants them. They're just going to go in the garbage. And I can use them for all sorts of crafts, as you're seeing in this Christmas in July series. So this isn't necessarily something you'd use in a junk journal, although you could use this method to make a bigger square box to put your journal into. So if you're doing, especially if you're doing mini journals, you could make these boxes for your mini journals to fit into. You'd have to, they'd have to be square ones. I suppose this could happen with a rectangle, but we've always done it with square. Probably use the same sort of principles to make a rectangular box. So you want to bring these so that they just meet. And when you open that up, you can actually do this from here. You don't have to open it out. You just got to make sure you get through this flap, but not into this flap. And just do the opposite side, not the, you don't do all four sides. Okay, so then you fold those out, fold these in, and see all the writing on the inside of the card is completely covered up. There is a little bit of writing on the back side of the card, but it is going to be down inside the box. In this case, you never, well, I guess you do know. You can figure that out pretty quickly. Let's just see how it fits. Yeah, that's just about perfect. So that would be, what, 1/8 of an inch difference? 1/4 of an inch difference. 2/8, 1/4. And then that just is a nice snug fit. Very cute. I'm going to go ahead and, I think you can get away with just gluing these flaps if the box is kind of nice and tight. Because once that's glued to the bottom, the other pieces that I glued, they won't be able to get out if this is glued down. So if you're trying to conserve glue, you could probably get away without gluing these ones. And then you could figure out the size of the bottom and put something pretty in there. You could even bring it up the sides if you wanted to cover any writing that's showing, but you know, it is what it is. It's an upcycled item, so it's going to have a little bit of, you know, character to it. So that's how you do those. Let's do another one. I pulled out this sort of partridge in a pear tree. It's just got pears and birdhouses and a couple of birds, which I assume are partridges. I'm not sure. There's a few different birds, actually. There's a cardinal and a blue jay and another cardinal. So maybe it's not a partridge in a pear tree. Birds in a tree. So I thought I would do this one. I just have the top of this one, so I'll find some cardstock for the bottom, but it's okay. So this looks to be around 6 inches. Let's see. Nope, it's 5 5/8, we'll say. Yeah, 5 5/8. So I might as well cut that bow off because it's not going to be, like whatever's in the center of your square is what you're going to see on top of your box. So I'm going to go 5 3/8. And then that bow and blue jay could be a pocket or something in a Christmas journal, or I could fussy cut it out. Fussy cut the bird, fussy cut the bow separately. Always a way to use stuff like that. Okay, so there's our square. And we'll just again go corner to corner. Oh, and you know what I did? I did it two different dimensions, didn't I? Haven't finished my coffee yet. I did. I was thinking of bottom dimension, and I think I did that wrong. So if you haven't got it square, it's not going to work right. Let's see here. 5 5/8, 5 3/8. Yes, I did. So I'm going to just make this 5 3/8 so that it's square again. Silly me. Let me just show you how that affects the center. So if you're going from corner to corner, now your center is off about 1/8 of an inch. So it's this one. We're going to go into that point. I tend to do the opposite ones first. I don't know why. I think it matters too much. And then into the center. This is a nice lightweight card. It's got a nice glossy finish, like a heavier weight Christmas card, and it's embossed even, but it's nice and easy to fold. Easier than that last one. So you're going to end up with all different sizes unless you cut them to a specific size if you want them all the same. If you're mass making them, you might want them all the same. We always just made them as big as they could be. Just fills in that square in the bottom just perfectly if you've done it nice and tidy. I've done your folds nice and tidy. So I hope you enjoy making these little boxes, getting ready for the holidays. So that comes in with a little bird, a couple of birds, some feathers, an apple, and a popcorn garland, and a little bird's nest. So that's kind of cute. So to find a bottom for that, I can just go to my cardstock. I could just do a brown one to go with the color of the nest, because that one is one that was just a front. So it was 5 3/8, so it's going to be, it was 4. Yeah, it was 5 3/8, so it's going to be 5 1/8. I think that's right. I think if I was doing this all day, I would have a little notepad and keep track, because my brain is like a sieve sometimes. And I don't think I would skip this step. I think it's important to have it pretty precise, so I would always want to mark this. I don't see how you would fold into the very center without doing this. just picked up another pad of this paper yesterday. It's from Dollarama, and it's $4 for something like 50 pieces of this cardstock. It's just a bit bigger than 8.5 by 11. Oh, now something's not right here, see? It's not perfect in some way. Let's see here. What did I do? Learn from my mistakes. So we're 5 1/16. Ooh. By 5 3/8. Maybe I just grabbed the wrong piece, did I? No. That's bad. 5 3/8, 5 1/8. You're probably yelling at me through the screen, telling me what I'm doing wrong. Oh. That seems strange to me. 5 1/8, 5 1/8. I don't know what happened there. I'll have to rewind it and watch. See what I did. So what you can do is hold your pencil on the point and move your ruler to it. It's sometimes an easier way. This is hard to see with the wood grain background. Let's see how this one works. Into the middle. It's sometimes good to see what not to do, right? Do as I say, not as I do. That's what my mom always used to say. And this paper is not quite as easy to fold as the card was. And here we've got slight imperfection again. You can see, it's hard to see, but there's a bit of a gap here. Shouldn't affect it too much. Trying to get that to meet all the way along, just giving it a little bit of persuasion here. And into the middle again on the other direction. So I think I will when I get, I'm just doing a few Christmas crafts now in July, but I think once I get really doing Christmas stuff in maybe November, I'm gonna make a bunch of these, or maybe I'll pull them out and do them in front of the television, because it's certainly something you can do. The only thing is I usually am in my hammock when I'm watching TV, so it's hard to do stuff like this in your hammock. I do a lot of fussy cutting in my hammock. And you could use an X-Acto knife and a ruler for this part, but these are pretty short little cuts. Easy to keep straight because they're short. And you probably could tuck these in. No, they don't tuck in, sorry. Never mind. Never mind. I just love these little boxes. I had kind of forgotten about them, and then I think some of these scrapbook paper ones my mom had made, and I brought them home when I was cleaning up her stuff after she passed away. And they've been sitting in my craft room, and I was looking for more ideas for the Christmas in July, and it all came flooding back to me, basically, because like I say, we used to make these every year, right before or after Christmas. I don't remember which. I don't know if she brought out last year's cards and we made them. We make them for craft shows too. So that should fit right up inside the Christmas card one. Very cute. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial. Seen my little blunders and how I fix them, and learned something new today, which is always fun. This is still made a little bit different, I think, than mine. Yeah, that's why. Just unfolded it too far. Feels like it had been glued. Little bits of tape or something. So get out your 6x6 paper pads and make some, or your Christmas cards, or any greeting cards. You could do it for birthday presents too. And make some fun little boxes to give little gifts in. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Most of all, have a terrific day. Thanks for watching.